Hi, welcome. I'm Janelle Best, president of the Howell Area Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for tuning in, and I am so excited to be with Jim Gilligan of Snedicors today. So Jim, I'm going to jump right in here because we have a limited amount of time and I want to make sure we cover all of the great things that you guys are doing and share with our members a little bit about you. So just to start, can you tell us a little bit about yourself personally?
Sure, Janelle, thanks. Well, I'm Jim Gilligan, and I grew up in Ann Arbor and moved to Howell in 1985. I grew up hunting and fishing, camping. I've always had a real love of the outdoors. I'm an avid cross-country skier, mountain biker. I spent a lot of time in the woods. I'm a former past president of the Howell Rotary Club. Formerly a coordinator for the Wham 300 bicycle tour for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and formerly a founder and director of the Great Lakes Primitives Summer Gathering up on Boyce Blank Island.
Oh, wow. So I love doing this because I learn so much about our members.
Right.
And it's always exciting to hear kind of that personal side of things, because that's honestly really how we start to cultivate those relationships and get to know people. So
yeah.
Thanks for sharing with us.
Sure. And then more recently, I'm a longtime yoga practitioner, but I'm also a certified yoga teacher.
What got you into yoga?
You know, at first it was just kind of taking care of my body.
Yep.
You know, just looking for, I was always very athletic, but always kind of feeling all the aches and pains even when I was younger. And I found that yoga really helped with that flexibility and actually helped me be more athletic, having better flexibility.
Absolutely.
And then I got into something called acro yoga, which is a blend of acrobatics and yoga. And in 2014, I became Michigan's first certified acro yoga teacher.
Ooh, good to know. That is so cool.
Yeah, so I've actually traveled around the world teaching acro yoga internationally and around the U.S. And nowadays I'm living here in Genoa Township with my wife Cheryl and
Perfect.
Our blended family. And we both are yoga teachers and teach acro yoga whenever we can when there's not a pandemic happening.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And now I know who to tap when we want to do an acro yoga chamber event. That sounds like a new thing.
That'd be awesome.
All right. So I want to learn a little bit about the history of Snedicors.
Sure, yeah. Well, Snedicors has a long and rich history. We've now traced it back to at least 1914, so over 106 years. It started off, I can't remember the name of it offhand, but it was a laundry right on Michigan Avenue, right on the buildings everyone's familiar with. It morphed into Howell Cleaners, Laundry, Rug Works, Dyers, etc. And then, meanwhile, in the early 20th century, the Snedicors family had grown a business of purchasing eggs and poultry from local farmers, repackaging it, and then sending it off in a horse-drawn wagon to grocers up and down Grand River between here and Detroit. Well, in the early 20s, as the A&Ps and Krogers of the world came in, they kind of got pushed out, and so in 1924 they bought this existing dry cleaner, and in 1927 they renamed it Snedicors Cleaners. My dad bought the cleaners in 1979. I came on board not too long after that. I was actually working in a boiler room in Ann Arbor. I was on the process of becoming a boiler operator. And dry cleaners use boilers, so I came up there and did a job and kind of stuck around.
Oh, that is, seems like it was a perfect fit for you. And I mean, you've got this kind of personal, rich history that tied really nice into the history of how Snedicors came to be today. And I'm going to keep moving along here because we're running short on time already. But tell me a little bit more about your environmentalism, because I know that that's really important to you, and I stumbled over that environmentalism.
Yeah, it is important to me. I mean, like I said, I grew up hunting and fishing and camping, and I love the Great Lakes, and spent a lot of time in the woods. And what we realized as we got into this business is that, you know, it's a very chemically intensive business, and what we didn't realize at the time, but it soon became apparent, is this was also a toxic chemical that was being used. And so in you know, I always kept us ahead of the curve as far as the technology, and by 2007, I converted to green earth cleaning, which is a liquid silicone-based, non-toxic, biodegradable substance, and at that time we eliminated all toxic substances from our operation.
That's just outstanding. That's outstanding. I mean, that is definitely something that I think to absolutely be so proud of.
I am very proud
yeah,
of
so
making
you
that,
should be.
yeah. And we're still the one and only green earth cleaner in the area.
We love that. Well, thank you for your commitment to our environment. And I want to talk a little bit more about how your business has really evolved over the last year. So there's some really exciting stuff here. Could you please share that with our listeners?
Sure, yeah. Well, you know, in 2019 we operated 2 storefronts, the traditional one in Howell and a 50-year-old operation in Brayton. And we've always had a blend of stores and delivery routes. It's always kind of varied back and forth. Then the pandemic hit, and at the beginning of 2020, we were doing about a third of our business through the delivery van. And I just decided, you know, the way things are going with everyone's ordering everything these days, we're just going to jump in first, feet first, right into being a delivery company. So as of about March 24th, 2020, I decided to close our 2 brick and mortar operations. I put a second van on the road, and from that day forward, we've serviced all of our customers with a contact-free pickup and delivery model. It's working out great. We now have 3 vans on the road. We're ahead of the curve as far as recovering financially or economically from other cleaners I'm seeing around the country. And in fact, I've got cleaners from around the country reaching out to me, wanting to find out more, because they're really looking at this now as the way of the future.
Well, it was definitely smart, it was innovative, and you guys were clearly able to pivot on a dime. So I think that all of those things kind of, you know, coming together really helped your success there. So that is fantastic. Finally, we have just about 2 minutes left, maybe a little less. Could you tell me what's happening with the downtown Howell properties?
Yeah, sure, love to. Now, I've been actually trying to develop that property since about 2007, and it's been difficult. You know, it's kind of landlocked, and bottom line is just couldn't afford to do new construction based on, you know, the square footage and you know, kind of what was available as far as parking for a new tenant or whatever. So I've decided just to demolish, first off, the house on the corner. And the house on the corner now, that land, I'm working with the brand new Howell Environmental Council, and we're going to be developing a community garden with a nice community space there in the spring of 2021.
Oh wow, well we're really looking forward to that and seeing what that's going to all look like and how it's all going to unfold. You clearly have a ton going on at Snedicors, and I just want to say thank you, because you're just such an asset to our community, and we really appreciate all of the steps you've taken to just be cognizant and aware of not only your customers but your community. It truly is outstanding to be working with members such as yourself. So real quick, we're going to wrap up here. Can you just share with us your contact information and where people can find more out about Snedicors and yourself?
Sure. Well, first off, just go to itsclean.com or snedicors.com, whichever is easier. You can also reach us at 517-546-1020. And we're answering the phones now all the time, right from our cell phones, because that's how business is operated this way. And we look forward to talking all of our present and future customers.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Jim.
Thank you, Janelle. It's been a pleasure.